Time for the heavy hitters. Cosmo Macero Jr. and Associates, Peter Cadges of the Boston Phoenix. Neither of who got their picture taken with Barack Obama yesterday.
No.
You may be in the private sector, but 30 grand for a photo. A little rich for even your blood, Cosmo.
Don't have 30 grand hanging around.
Let's start with Barack Obama, because he was in town yesterday, 47 years young, as we now find out, and he's got some problems. He's got some troubles, as it turns out. With all the fanfare and all the press, the latest polls, Gallup poll and the latest Rasmussen poll, have McCain leading Obama. He's got the tire gauge issue that has reared its head. The Paris Hilton ad apparently has been effective. What is going on here, Cosmo, and are you buying these poll numbers?
I think we know here that Paris Hilton's mother is dead wrong. The negative ads are working. I'm not surprised here. I mean, look, he goes into the nomination with the weakest of mandates from his own party, so it's no surprise here that with a little traction, with a little good strategic advertising from McCain that digs in a little bit, that he's going to get banged up in the polls. There's no clear mandate nationally, and I think Middle America and others around the country are uncertain about Obama, and that's what McCain is tapping into, and I think that's what's reflected in these polls. So we've got a campaign to go here, and I think that's what you're seeing.
What closed the gap, Peter, in these polls?
I think they're totally insignificant, and I don't so much as disagree with what Cosmo's saying. Is saying, look, I think nationally the electorate's very undecided about Obama and McCain. I'd put them at a dead heat. I think they'll be even until Labor Day, which is when the election really starts. I'm not surprised that he's gone down. I think that the fanfare in the press that Obama, is unstoppable has been a lot of hype. I think we live in very troubling times, and there's a lot of ambivalence about both men.
Speaking of hype, Cosmo, let's talk about that ad that's been getting so much fanfare, and a lot of people on radio think is doing so much damage to Obama, the Paris Hilton, Britney Spears celebrity ad. You mentioned Kathy Hilton's take on this thing. John Kerry on the news shows over the weekend saying there is a character assassination of Barack Obama going on, and John Kerry knows something about what those people do, those that would cause character assassinations. Is that what's going on here? Is there some sort of character assassination going on? And if so, has it been effective?
Look, welcome to presidential politics. That's how we choose our candidates. We force them to cope with tremendous adversity in the media, in the public, on the campaign trail. And we can talk about the issues as much as we want. You can tell me all about Barack's tire gauge energy plan or his health care plan or what he's even going to do in Iraq. It's how can you lead and are you a leader? And one of the ways that people make that decision is how they cope with this kind of adversity in the media. So it tells me a lot about Obama and McCain, how they react to these things, and I think it's just fine.
Is it possible, though, Peter, that many people saw this ad and that many people are being polled, and that's why these poll numbers have changed for Barack so significantly?
Well, again,
this was basically an internet ad.
The internet is very powerful. It's not the ad itself, it's how many people talk about the ad. That's something we've learned. We're all talking about it. Again, the numbers aren't that significant, but to get back to your question, the Republicans have employed much more than the Democrats the character smear as a very effective campaign technique. And I think, yes, John Kerry does know about it. He was a veteran. He served well. My God, for George Bush, who saw no combat in his entire life, for his campaign to countenance the smearing of Kerry, that was a smear. Unfortunately, as Cosmo says, it is a fact of life. I think what we're seeing now is during this quiet time of the summer is the Republicans maybe sort of testing their smears, dipping their toe in the water.
Well, is this also a recognition by McCain that he needs the Karl Rove faction of the Republican Party to help him get the job done?
Whether it's the founding fathers, whether it's Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, they loathed each other. The level of civility today is eons above what it was 250 years ago. So it's nothing new. What I'm saying is It's how we choose presidents, and it's how it ought to be. It ought to be really hard and unpleasant to become president. It ought to be an incredible trial of humanity to become president, and that's the way it should
Let's
be.
get to issue number 3, because one thing it shouldn't be that hard to do is kill somebody who's killed, raped, and tortured 2 women. But such is the case going on in Ohio, where we're being told a guy is too fat to be executed. There you see him right there. His name is Richard Cooey, 5'7", 267. Cosmo, I'll start with you. Is there a phrase, too fat to die?
How much? 267? Look, this guy's facing the grim.
Guy's close to a lightweight.
This guy's he's facing the Grim Reaper, so I guess I shouldn't laugh. If you're claiming you're too fat for anything, you better be bringing it. And 267 is not cutting it. If you're not 300, you're not too fat for anything. So I don't know.
On the other hand, Peter, this stuff happened in 1986. Here we are in 2008, and we're still debating whether this guy should be put to death or not.
Well, I have I'm not a proponent of the death penalty. So I'm probably a bad person to ask.
Yeah, but regardless of whether you're for it or against it, we have it. This guy's supposed to get it, and now because he weighs 267, he may beat the system. I mean, something's really wrong here.
Well, it is a novel way to appeal. I gotta say that.
Maybe they should
Look,
put him on a
none of us,
starvation diet.
that holds out hope for us. Should we ever take a turn for the worse?
That's putting a shine on a sneaker if I ever heard it. Speaking of which, let's continue with the theme here, and let's go to Maryland, gentlemen. I talked about this yesterday, but I know you guys got to weigh in.
This is the issue of the day.
Right. The ladies at the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, after getting 64 orders of snow crab legs, were told, we're out of them, no more.
Was that collectively or individually?
I think it was collectively.
All right.
So they would have had at least 80 legs apiece by my calculation.
It's not all you should eat. It's not all you can eat within reason. It's all you can eat. So
is there no limit to that phrase?
maybe they ought to take out an insurance policy.
It's very close to the right to bear arms, I think. If it's not in the Constitution, it should be.
So you're with the ladies on
the 27th Amendment. Absolutely.
All you can eat means all you can eat. Not all you can eat until we think you've had enough.
That's right.
Well, then this begs the question, gentlemen. I need personal bests. I need to know what the food was and where it happened.
Well, some people might think my
Cosmo was trying to show it's a little taste there. Cat just jumped right in.
No. Some people might think it was my performance at the Peterborough Diner, which is close to my personal best. But I have to go back, 30 years. Now, you have to bear in mind, I only weighed 155, and I used to run 5 miles a day. But I ate 3 meals at the old Rainbow Rib Room, and I had 3 orders of ribs, beef, pork, and lamb, 3 times a day. So that is probably my personal best.
They had 10-cent buffalo wings out at Charlie's in Amherst. We used to drive that price right up to about 13 or 14 cents. So there you go.
Cosmo Macero and Associates, Peter Cadges of the Boston Phoenix. They are the heavy hitters. We'll